Hello everyone, this is Misha Houston, and I am back to do my review for If Loving You Is Wrong. Tonight's episode is entitled A Fatal Attraction, and it was such a wonderful episode. I really enjoyed it. This was definitely a crazy episode tonight, and I am so entertained by what I've been seeing on my television screen so far. Tonight's episode picks up right where we left off last week. Travis is in the back seat of Kelly's car, and he is as mad as a bull. Travis orders Kelly to turn off of the car. Kelly wants him to get out and leave her alone, but he refuses to get out of the back seat. Travis grabs Kelly roughly and tells Kelly, "You need to put the car in park and turn it off." Eventually, Kelly does that. And then he tells her to come in the back seat, but she refuses. She does not want to be anywhere near him, and I certainly can't blame her for that. She tries to open the door and get out of the car, but Travis grabs her and completely just yanks her into the back seat with him. They're struggling with each other, and she's screaming at him, "You're hurting me. Let me go. Just please let me go. Why can't you move on with your life and let go of me and leave me alone?" He says that he tried to move on, but she wouldn't let him. He accuses her of going to the police about Ramsey's death. He also accuses her of having sex with him and then dogging him out and throwing him away, which on some level is the truth. Because back in the previous seasons, she wanted to have sex with him as a punishment and then throw him out when he tried to ask for more. So in actuality, Travis has a ring of truth to what he's saying, even though he's crazy, even though he's become violent and dangerous. There is a ring of truth to what Travis is saying about Kelly, because that's exactly what she did. She even bragged to her girlfriends that she wanted to have sex with him, she wanted to freak him, and then kick him out. So, I mean, as much as I hate to see Kelly going through this is at least in part her fault. Some men can handle, having sex with a woman and then forgetting about it. Some men can handle the jealousy, the jealous and spiteful things a woman can do to a man, and they can move on with that. But some men like Travis obviously cannot. The fact that Kelly had sex with him and then threw him out just sent him into a lunatic rage. And he's taking out his feelings and his frustrations all out on Kelly. That's my defense of him, and I know it's paper thin, but I think that's exactly where he's coming from in this. I just think, and this is like a message to all the women. Don't mess around. If you don't want to be with a man, then don't be with him. Push him out of your life forever. Don't draw him in to punish him and then throw him away. Some men can handle that, some men can't. If you don't want to be with a guy, just get rid of him altogether and don't look back. He accuses her of going to the police about Ramsey's death, which is also true. But I do believe that Travis has murdered Ramsey in a jealous and a psychotic rage. He also accuses her of being the sick one, which is completely untrue. I mean, it's become obvious that he's lost his mind. He's become deranged, and but yet in his lunacy, he feels that she's the one who is sick because she used him for sex and then tossed him out. While they were in the back seat, he reaches for her thigh he reaches for her thigh and tries to put his hand up her dress. Now she's screaming, "No, no, no!" She's not gonna put up with this abuse. She's fighting him with everything in her, and she goes so far as to hit him in the face. He tries it again, and then suddenly he stops himself and he says, "You are the one who is sick. You are so damn sick." He eventually gets off of Kelly and leaves her car, slamming the door behind him. She's crying in the back seat because of the abuse. She's hurt, she's heartbroken. Eventually she manages to climb back into the front seat. She sees him standing out there watching her, and she turns the car on and she drives off in a hurry. What a crazy mess that is, and I'm very interested in seeing exactly what will happen, later on in the story involving those two. This is definitely a war, a true and horrible war that has occurred between the two of them. And I can't wait to see what happens next. Randall comes into the hospital. He has found the person that he has been looking for. He has found his mother, Miss Louise Holmes. She's up and she's hurt, but she's in her right mind. She's up, she's alert, she's awake. They ask each other if they're both okay, and then they both say that they are okay. She asks him, did they hurt you? And then, he tries to play it off. He doesn't tell her anything about what happened down by the lake. But he tells her that he's okay. And then she asks him, how did he manage to get away from it all? How did you get away? And then Randall tells her that the FBI showed up just in the nick of time, and they managed to kill everyone that was attacking him down by the lake. Miss Louise tells Randall that it was Marcy who called for the FBI. Now Randall, he doesn't believe it. He believes that Marcy doesn't care anything about him. Marcy, last week, she put up one of her false fronts pretending that she didn't care about Randall. But it was obvious last season that she still very much, does care about him. And that she was the one who got in touch with Lucian. And Lucian, being an undercover FBI agent, took him himself and his people out to the lake. So the credit really does go to Marcy for having saved Randall in the nick of time. I mean, they showed up exactly when they were supposed to show up, because if it had been a few minutes more, he would have died by hanging off of a tree. Randall doesn't believe that Marcy called the FBI, But Miss Louise confirms it, saying that she came by the hospital to come and visit me. Randall, doesn't really want to be bothered with Marcy anymore. I mean, he's still very much upset with her for her having had sex with Brad in the tool shed, and Randall refuses to forgive her. Miss Louise wants the two of them to be together, obviously, and to forget past the hurt that they have caused to each other, but Randall doesn't see that happening at any point. Now, Miss Louise knows that Alex was the one who called her parents in, and she tells him that you have to know that this was Alex who did this. This woman that you love so much is the person that set you up to be killed, while the woman that you have tossed aside is the woman that has tried to save you. I mean, it's very ironic. It's a very good point that she brought up. These two people that he hurt, Marcy and Brad, the two people that he hurt with his betrayal, are now his saviors. Marcy got in touch with Lucian, and Lucian brought the FBI, and Brad made the drive because of Marcy's urgings to go down by the lake, and Brad was the one who saved the baby's life when he was dropped into the water, while Alex, this woman that he was so desperately and madly in love with, has set him up to die. So, I mean, I think that's a really good point, and I think he needs to take heed of that, which I think that he has now. I don't believe anymore that Randall is still in love with Alex. I mean, it's just obvious that he wouldn't blink if she were carted off to prison. I don't think he wants to get back with Marcy, but I don't think he wants anything to do with Alex either. I mean, I don't see how he could. I mean, I just think he just wants Alex gone out of the picture for good. Now, Miss Louise wants this feud, this blood feud, this war to be over, between Randall and Alex, but he's telling her that this is not over. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to stay in this, and I'm going to fight for my son. Miss Louise, wants him to just let it go, but he's not having it. He has a custody hearing this morning, and he's telling her that I'm going away now. I'm going to get ready for my custody hearing, and if things go my way, I'm going to come back with my son and your grandson. He's made it clear that he is not going to give up at all. And Miss Louise is tired of fighting him. Is tired of fighting him. Tired of trying to convince him out of it. I mean, he makes it very clear that this is not over, not until he gets his son. She says, you know what, I'm tired. This is making my head hurt. If you want to go, just go. Just go. I'm done fighting it. And then he tells her that I love you, and I'll be back later on. And then she tries to stop him one more time, saying that you haven't, telling him that I guess you haven't learned your lesson, haven't you? I mean, she says, after all of this, it's not enough. And then Randall tells Miss Louise that no, it's not enough. She says, I guess I'll be going to a funeral then. And then he tells her, so be it. They trade I love yous, and Randall leaves the hospital. Now, We move on to Dr. Ralston and Marcy. Marcy is pregnant, and she asked the doctor, "How far along am I?" And and Dr. Ralston, she tells Marcy that she's 3.5 months pregnant. Now, as we all know, right? Marcy and Brad hadn't started sleeping together only a couple of days ago. Now, they've stretched the storyline out on the television show, but in actuality, it's only been a few days. So the baby belongs to Randall. I'm really disappointed by that, but I guess that's the way the story is written. She confessed to the doctor that she drank heavily during her first trimester because she had no idea that she was truly pregnant. So it's smart to sort of realize that there may be complications with the pregnancy. There may be problems with the baby. Drinking during pregnancy is not healthy. We all know that, and I think that the baby will be sick or have some sort of birth defects or something because of all of the alcohol that Marcy drank during her time. For now, the baby looks healthy, but I think there's going to be some problems later on. Now, we move on to Marcy and Brad. Brad is on the couch and Marcy offers him something to eat, but he says, "No, I'm not hungry and I need to get ready to go to work." She accuses him of giving her the cold shoulder because of the fact that she believed that he was responsible for the kidnapping of Randall and the baby. She apologizes profusely about that, and what he's really angry about with her is the fact that Marcy keeps using Brad to antagonize and to hurt Alex. He's gotten tired of it. You can tell that he's gone soft in regards to Alex. He tells Marcy that he doesn't want to be used by her anymore. He wants her to stop kissing him in front of Alex just to throw it in her face. Now she's telling him that, she brought this all upon herself, which is true, but he tells Marcy that Alex has suffered enough. And then she finally realized how deeply he's still in love with his wife. Brad is still in love with Alex, which I think he should get over. I think he should just come on and get over it, but that's just me. It's obvious that Brad is still in love with Alex, and he counters and tells her, "Well, you know what? You're still in love with Randall. So don't give me a hard time about me loving my wife and loving my ex when you still carrying a torch for yours." She confesses to him that even though she still does love Randall, that she has also fallen in love with him. She's in love. She confesses to Brad that she's in love with him. She says that he makes her feel happy and safe. That Brad makes her feel protected and wanted. And she feels like a fool for having fallen in love with another man that's apparently still in love with Alex. She doesn't believe it, but he tells her that he loves her as well. I mean, I believe that they both do love each other, but they're still, trying to hold on to their exes. They really need to let go of these awful spouses and move on together. But I mean, they just don't know how to deal with each other. They don't know how to deal with their feelings. They're both so angry and so hurt, and they don't know what to do. I want them to be together, but I don't think they're going to be together now, because apparently she's pregnant with Randall's baby. God, I wish she wasn't pregnant with that man's baby. Why couldn't the baby have been Brad's? It would have made things so much easier. But now their situation has become even more and more complicated. Now, the next group of people we go to is the doctor, Natalie, Joey, and Lucian. It's a bit of a filler scene. Joey is awake and doing a lot better. Joey asks about Fawn, and the doctor tells him that she was grazed by 2 bullets, but for the most part, she was doing okay. She had the strength to stand on her own 2 feet and leave the hospital. So Fawn is doing much better. So good for her on that front, and good for Joey as well. Lucian comes in asking if Joey is okay, and they all say that Joey is doing much better. Natalie says she's been here all night and she has to go on and go to work. Joey complains that he's tired, and eventually Natalie and Lucian leave Joey to rest. Now, outside of Joey's hospital room, she tells Lucian that the landlord called saying that they need to move out of the apartment now. Apparently, Natalie and her former landlord got into some sort of an argument, and it ended up Natalie pretty much saying, "You can take this apartment and kiss my ass." So pretty much, Natalie and Lucian are gonna move into the new house. Now, we go into the next group of people, Esperanza and Officer Rick. Rick asks Esperanza to tell him everything that she knows about Kelly. Now, she's being petty with him and saying that, well, since you didn't help me by telling me what was going on inside of the house, then she doesn't feel that she should help him in any way. I mean, which is so stupid and petty. I mean, you work in the call center and you're not a police officer, Esperanza. Officer Rick asked about Kelly for her sake because Travis has just now filed a restraining order against Kelly. So apparently, after Kelly drove away from him, after him attacking her, he ran to the police station with a pack of his lies and tells them that he wants a restraining order against Kelly. Now, because of this, Rick is asking Esperanza what kind of woman is Kelly. But Esperanza is telling him, don't believe a word that Travis has said to you. He's a liar. Kelly hasn't done anything to him. Rick believes that that she slashed his tires and vandalized his car. But Esperanza is telling him, no, Travis is a liar. He's crazy, and that he shouldn't believe a word that Travis is saying. Now Esperanza tries to call Kelly, but she doesn't pick up the phone. Now Lucian comes over and talks to Officer Rick. Rick tells Lucian that a dead body was found in his new house. Lucian is surprised by this. Rick tells Lucian that it was Ramsey. Ramsey was stabbed to death in Lucian's brand new house. Rick tells him that it was a crime of passion, that it was overkill. He was stabbed multiple times, and this was certainly not an accident. This was a cold-blooded murder. Lucian obviously doesn't want to tell Natalie that a man was murdered in the new house for fear that she may not want to live there. Rick also questions Lucian about Kelly's character. But Lucian, vouches for Kelly, telling him that Kelly is a very good person. She's a good woman. And if it comes down between Travis and Kelly, then he should believe in Kelly. Now, eventually Esperanza catches up with Kelly on the phone. Essie gives a warning to Kelly, saying that she should have her restraining order. She should hurry up and get the restraining order because Travis is at the station. Travis is here. He's at the station. So hurry up and get your restraining order together, because he's trying to put one against you. Now, Kelly is in tears. She's hurt. She's traumatized by the attack, and she's in a bad way right about now. While Esperanza and Kelly are on the phone, Kelly gets an incoming call from Lucian. Now, Lucian tells Kelly asks Kelly not to tell Natalie about Ramsey's death. He wants to buy the house still, and he wants Natalie to move on that street and to a safer and better neighborhood. And if she knew about the fact that someone was murdered most horribly in that house, she would be afraid and wouldn't want to live there. Kelly says yes, that she would not tell Natalie about the death. Lucian says thank you, and he lets Kelly know that they're there, that he's gonna be her new neighbor, and that he'll always be there for her. She thanks him, and she hangs up the phone, and she drives away. The next group of people are Eddie, Steven, and Lucian. Lucian comes into the office with Eddie and Steven. Eddie is still lying. Is obviously lying. I mean, that's his whole strategy. Just tell a pack of lies and everything will be okay. He lies and says that he and Lucian together showed up to Rusty and Virginia's house together. And there was no sign of Steven. No sign of Andrew anywhere. I mean, it's obviously a lie. We all know what happened last season. Lucian came with the FBI, and Eddie showed up on his own after having abused and shot and mistreated Andrew on the side of the road. Now, Steve asked a series of questions, and all Eddie does is lie to every one of those questions. Eddie is still accusing Lucian of being an FBI agent, to deflect the attention off of him. And but apparently it doesn't work. Now, a report has been written out by Eddie and Steven expects Lucian to sign that report, but Lucian is not going to sign that because he knows it's nothing but a big lie, and he's not going to put his name onto that. Lucian is starting now to accuse Eddie of him being a dirty cop. And then once again, Eddie accuses Lucian of being a part of the FBI, and he goes so far as to threaten him. He threatens him. He threatens Natalie, and he threatens those kids. And that really sets Lucian off. He says, if you ever bring up Natalie, or if you ever bring up my children again, then I'll gun you down here and now. The two of them go back and forth and trading insults and shouting at each other. But Lucian, in the end, refuses to sign his name on that document, on that fraudulent document. He refuses to sign, and then he leaves out of the room. Now, Steven and Eddie are in the office alone, and he tells Eddie that he pretty much doesn't care about him robbing drug dealers. He has no interest in it. He just doesn't care. What Steven wants Eddie to do is to take down and strong arm the cartel. He wants Julius. Steven wants to use Eddie to take down Julius. And then once the cartel has been dismantled and arrested and taken down, then the secret plan of taking down Eddie will go into effect. So pretty much Steven wants Eddie to work for his own downfall. Now Eddie is saying to him that he has so much on his plate right now. The FBI is sniffing around. He just can't be bothered with this right now. He needs to lay low. I mean, he realizes that he needs to lay low. But Steven tells him that if you do this, if you manage to take down the cartel, then Lucian wouldn't have a leg to stand on. He'll either be fired or transferred into another department or shot down. He thinks about it, and I think that Eddie is going to try to make a move against the cartel. He wants Lucian gone. So all pretty much Steven had to do was dangle Lucian's downfall in front of him like a carrot in front of a horse. And he's pretty much become his errand boy in this effect. So I think Eddie is going to, at the very least, consider this plan. Now Eddie leaves the office and goes back to his desk where Lucian is sitting. They eyeball each other for a few seconds, and then they both look in a different direction. So it's definitely going to be a war between those two. Now, the last scene of the night. Alex, Randall's lawyer, and the judge. This is a chambers hearing. They're having their custody battle not in the courtroom, but in the judge's chambers. Now, Alex, Randall, I mean, yeah, no, excuse me. Randall's lawyer, and the judge are all sitting there waiting for Alex to show up. Apparently, she is late because, she has no car anymore. Her car burned up in the last season. So they're pretty much, the judge is getting impatient, and he's, deciding that maybe he should just rule right now. Now, Alex finally comes in, but she apologizes for being late. The judge asks her, "Where's your lawyer?" And then she tells the judge that, "Hey, my lawyer, I don't have a lawyer because I can't afford one." Now, without a lawyer, the judge asks her, "Do you understand what's happening here?" And then she tells him, "Yes, this is a custody hearing for my son." And then Randall pipes in and says, "Our son. This is a custody hearing for our son, not just your son." Now, the judge said that he read the petition. And Randall, the child's father, is claiming that the baby is not safe in your care and in your possession. The judge asked her, is the child in danger with you? And she lies and says no. But Randall pipes in and says, "Our baby was kidnapped." And then Alice confirms it, saying yes. She still doesn't believe that the baby is in any danger with her, but she does confirm the fact that the baby was kidnapped. The judge asked her a series of questions. He's reading the petition and he's asking her, "Was the baby kidnapped by your parents?" And Alex says, "Yes, the baby was kidnapped." Then he asked her, "Where were you when this happened?" And then she says she was in the backyard. And then when she came back into the living room, the baby was gone. And then the judge asked her, "Who gave them access to your house?" And then she tells them that they broke into my house and took the baby. Then the judge asks her, "Well, what is to stop them from doing this again?" And then she tells them that they're both dead now and they are of no threat to the baby. And then the judge is bewildered, saying they were killed. And then she says, "Yes, they were killed. They were killed." Randall, as she's saying that her parents were killed, is beaming. He's so glad that Rusty and Virginia are now dead. And then the judge asked them, "How did they die?" And then Alex tells the judge that they were killed by the FBI. You can kind of tell that the momentum is starting to work and shift into Randall's favor. Now, the judge, being a black man himself, mentions to Alex that her father was a violent and racist man. Alex says, "Yes, my father was racist," but she tells them that is not the way that I think. it's not me. Um, and then he continues reading the petition, and then he reads and says, the baby was dropped into the lake, a lake that was infested with alligators. And Alex says, yes, my mother Virginia did drop the baby into the lake on purpose. Now the judge is completely dumbfounded. He's bewildered. He's shocked. I mean, he's shocked witless. He can't believe that this is happening. When he first read this petition, he thought that Randall was exaggerating himself, over embellishing his story with too much detail, with far too much detail to boost up his case. But he's come to realize that these things are true. Randall also confirms it and tells him, yes, I know this is crazy. I know that this is so far-fetched, but these things did happen. With the revelation of the baby being dropped into a lake filled with alligators, Alex's case is sinking like a rock. You really can really tell what the judge's decision is going to be. And then the judge asked her, why should I leave this baby in your care? And then she just tells him, because he's my son. But then the judge tells her, well, yes, the baby is your child, but that's still no guarantee that he'll be safe and protected, which is true. She keeps saying that she would never let any kind of harm come to the baby. That's pretty much her whole defense. I wouldn't dare bring harm to the baby. But as you can tell, as anyone I think can see, that harm has already have come to this baby. This baby is almost drowned in the lake. Now, the judge questions the baby's history and heritage. Apparently, he asked Randall that the baby was born from an affair, and that the two of them were both neighbors, and that when Brad, her husband, found out about this, he threatened to kill him, and that he pulled a gun out on him. Randall says yes to all of these questions. And then the judge goes back to asking Alex, why should I allow this baby around your husband? Now Alex tells the judge, but they are separated, and which is true. But Randall chimes in and says that Brad was just over at that house, before, he was just over there a little while ago. She confirms that is the truth, that Brad was over there briefly, but he was over there just to pick up the kids. By hearing the fact that Brad is still very much in contact with Alex, the judge feels that he is ready to make his decision. Now Alex, who is very desperate at this point, is pleading with him, saying, I know that this looks bad and sounds bad, but she's telling him over and over and over again that she would never let harm come to the baby. And the judge says that he understands that. But he asks a very good question. He asks her, does she understand that herself? Which is a very good question. that's the thing that Alex isn't getting. She doesn't quite understand that she is the problem here. Randall is not the one who put the baby into jeopardy. She did that. And she just refuses to take responsibility for her actions. And that is what is landing her in so much hot water. She doesn't get it. She has convinced herself that she is the innocent in this, and that Randall is the evil, wicked man come to take her baby away. When come to find out, he truly, and I truly believe that he just wants to protect his child. I mean, that was his whole point of him bringing up the custody issue, was to protect the baby. To protect the baby from Brad and from Rusty. She just refuses to acknowledge her part in this. Now, the judge has talked to the doctor and the CPS worker, saying that the child could have died. But once again, she says that I would never let harm come to the baby, and then she credits Brad for saving the baby's life. But then the judge sees it as, yes, you're still in contact with this man that threatened to kill your lover. And it only does harm to her case. When he hears the fact that she is still in contact with Brad, that pretty much makes his mind up for him. He tells everyone that he's ruling in favor of the biological father. He says that Randall is going to have custody of the baby. Now she can't believe it. Though she's got this shocked look on her face. But apparently the judge has decided to side with Randall in this, saying that he was right and that he should look after and take care of the baby from now on. Now, what really makes me angry with Alex is what she says at the last sentence that comes out of her mouth. She, knowing that the truth has failed her, she resorts to lying. Again, she continues to lie. That is her whole strategy. She's really no better than Eddie. She continues to lie, and she tells the judge that Randall is not the biological father of the baby. And because she let this lie come out of her mouth, because she continues to deny her part in this, and that she refuses to take responsibility for her actions, my MVP of tonight's episode is Randall. I believe now more than ever that he should be the guardian and the protector of the baby, because this woman just lies. She lies without a conscience. I am so sick of Alex. I'm saying this outright. I may lose viewers because of this. I may lose subscribers. But I just don't care. I am at the end with Alex. I'm done with her. And I'm sick to death of her lies. And I pray that the truth comes out. And comes out quickly. I am tired of her. And if Randall wants to press charges against her, I say do it. Randall is my MVP because all he did tonight was tell the truth. And in the end, the judge sided with him, and so did I. I thought that he would be the one to tell the lies. But apparently he didn't. He just told the truth. He let the truth speak for himself and speak for itself. And because of that, and because Alex is such a liar, such a pitiful and cowardly liar, Randall has become my MVP of the episode. This is the end of my video. This was one crazy episode. Come back next week for the next installment of If Loving You Is Wrong. I can't remember the title, but I will put the title of the next episode in my description line. Thank you to all of my viewers and my subscribers. And I hope that after my rant tonight about Alex, that you will all continue to subscribe to my videos and still, view and enjoy my videos. Thank you so very, very much to everyone who listens, to everyone who comments, to everyone who views. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe to my videos if you enjoy them. Enjoy your life as I do, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you so much.